Brandon grew up in the farm, or in the barn here, just like a lot of us did. Was always here even after he finished 4-H, helping the family and other 4-Hers. And I think last year he showed a steer. He was reserve champion, had steers every year. So we just want to recognize Brandon, where the Fair Board wanted to dedicate the steer show tonight in honor of Brandon. We have a plaque here to give to his mom and dad in recognition of him. And we'd just like to have a moment of silence, please. Donnie and Melissa, there's nothing we can do or say in this situation other than to tell you that you will remain in our prayers, and we just want to recognize Brandon and dedicate this steer show to him tonight.
We'd like to thank our judge for showing up for this evening. His name is Kyle Nichols from Sycamore, Ohio. Kyle works for Kalmbach Feeds and Formula of Champions Show Feeds as a beef nutritionist. He graduated from Ohio State in 2012 and was on the livestock judging team there. Kyle, his wife Audrey, and daughter Claire operate Nichols Show Stock, where they raise club calves and club lambs. Let's all give our judge a round of applause. Now entering the ring from Class 1, tag number 202, 84, 197, and 207. Judge, this is your class. Randy Lambert and family, Wade's Work in Western Wear, Doug, Ruth, John, and Grace Cade, Lawrence County Junior Fair Board, Scotttown Farmer and Farmettes 4-H Club, and Starlight 4-H Club.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here tonight to judge this steer show. Apologize for being a little bit late. I know it's hot out here, and these cattle have been up, and everybody's hot, so I'm going to try not to take too long out here in these classes tonight. But really a nice set to start the night out with. I think even though some lighter weight cattle out here, I think we've got some that are market ready. I think the young lady right in front of me, I think her steer excels the class rather easily in my mind, just in terms of having that extra width and shape and product and muscle in him. I think by far the heaviest muscled, widest built calf in the class. He's really big centered. You get your hands on him. I think in terms of market readiness, this is the one that you like. He's the smoothest in terms of his handle. Calf, again, you just appreciate the width and dimension and power that he's got. Now, one you'd certainly like to free up from a structure standpoint. He gets really round out of his hip and wants to roll that top up on the go. But I think, again, really one that's stout featured. Got a ton of product in him. Young lady does a nice job showing that one. Young lady's calf that comes in second, I think a really nice steer here in second. He's really sound, he's really complete. I think you like his length of body and extension and profile when you get off to the side of him. A calf, again, when you get right in behind him, just runs out of horsepower and runs out of true muscle and dimension compared to the calf that wins the class. But that's an awfully nice calf there in second as well. I think a really close pair here in third and fourth. And again, a pair of sound structured cattle that you like the levelness and the profile and the build that they've got. But a pair of cattle to me that just need to be wider base, need to have more true width and muscle shape and product in them for me. I think the young lady's steer in third is deeper flanked and softer bodied than the young man's calf in fourth, but I think that's a really close pair. And again, two really good profile and sound structured cattle to round the class out. Let's give those young folks a round of applause.
Results for Class 1. In fourth place, John Fleetman. Third place, Deanna Fleetman. Second place, Abby Prince. And first place, Montana Runnels. Now entering the ring from Class 2. Tag number 220. Tag number 206. Tag number 187. And tag number 196.
I think 4 really nice cattle out here in this class, and certainly a pair of steers at the top of the class the young ladies have got here that, again, I think from a market-ready standpoint are the most correct in terms of the degree of finish they're carrying, and a pair of cattle that I think just work more width and muscle shape than the other two out here. And I guess, you know, the more you analyze these cattle, to me, neither of them are perfect structurally. There's certainly things you'd like to change about both of them, and that's where I think you side with the young ladies calf that starts the class. He does spread just a notch more width and shape throughout. You get him behind the cattle, I think he works the most spread and shape down the top side of his skeleton. He's the biggest hipped and the shapeliest down through the base of his quarter. That being said, he gets a little bit coarser up through his front third, a little bit rounder and coarser at the point of his shoulder. You'd like to change him there. That's what you like about the young ladies steer in second. I think that shoulder lays in him really nice. He's got some length and extension up front. But as steer, as we set him in motion and watch him go, I think gets straighter and steeper off of both ends. That's where I'd like to change that one. You get him behind him relative to the steer that wins the class. I think gets a little narrower based and gives up some shape down low. Really nice pair of cattle at the top of the class. Young man's Brockle face steer coming in third. In terms of build and profile and design, I like this one the best of any in the class. I think you ask the cattle to get out and go. He's as athletic and free moving as any of them. He's as level and correct in his build out here as any of them. But a calf relative to the two above him certainly gives up some muscle and product. And you get your hands on him, I think this is one that could still lay down some more fat cover. Needs to probably spend a few more days on feed to reach his optimal endpoint. Young lady steer that rounds out the class, really a rugged, structured, high-performing kind of a calf. You really like his depth of body. The young lady's done a nice job showing this one out here tonight. Again, relative to the three above him, though, I think just gives up too much true dimension and shape and product potential for me. But again, really a sound, easy feeding kind of a steer. She's done a nice job with. Let's give those young folks a round of applause.
Your results for Class 2: in 4th place, Peyton Runnels; 3rd place, Wyatt Owens; 2nd place, Maddie Calloway; and 1st place, Tedlin Kraft. Now entering the ring for Class 3, tag number 205, 198, 194, 204, 215, and 218. Judge, this is your class. Class 4 to the holding area, please. Class 4 to the holding area.
Hey, I see this young man's got a fan club out here, so that's pretty exciting. Now, a little bit of commotion in this class, but hats off to all these young folks out here. You know, everybody stayed calm and worked together, and I was the same size as these little guys one time and had the same problem showing these big fat steers, so I can relate to where they're coming from. It's not that they haven't put the time in at home, but we've got a lot of noise and a wide open arena out here, and it's no fault of the kids, but they did a really good job keeping it together. Especially want to thank the young lady in second. She's an excellent showman, and she was kind of my leader out here. and kind of kept everybody organized for me, willing to help everybody around her, and I certainly appreciate that. But I think we got a 2-horse race in this class pretty quick, and that's the young man steer we're going to start the class with, and the young lady solid black steer in second. I think certainly those two, in terms of build and look and balance and eye appeal, are the two you like. Those are also the two that I think in terms of width and muscle shape and dimension you really like. To me, the young man's peach-colored steer just checks more of the boxes for us. He spreads more width and shape down his top. He's bigger hipped. He's shapelier down through the base of his quarter and his stifle. I think he's bigger and bolder in his rib and center body. Like his length and extension up front. The young lady steer that comes in second gives up some of that power and muscle shape. However, I do like this one's rear wheels a little better. I think he takes a longer, more comfortable stride off those back two, hits the ground on a bigger, squarer foot. I like that about him quite a bit. Just gives up too much width and power and look from the side to the young man's peach-colored steer. The young lady's crumbed up calf coming in third, probably the heaviest muscled steer in the class. I think in terms of carcass merit, there's no doubt in my mind this is the best one in here. The smoothest and most uniform in terms of his finish. He's square build, he's big back, got a lot of shape in him. A calf we just got to make quite a bit sounder off both ends for me. He really gets straight out of that rear hock and pastern, really gets upright on those pasterns and gets outside of himself on the go. I think just got to make that one sounder for me to be comfortable moving him up higher in class, but he's really highly presented. Young ladies put a lot of effort into that one. That's an awfully nice steer project. Pair of steers coming next I think are very close in type and kind. Again, a pair of stout structured, big bodied steers that are fed and finished really nice. I think cattle that just give up some look and balance to some of the ones above him. The young man's done a really good job out here tonight. His steer wants to get a little bit weak in behind his shoulders and kind of break right there where his forerib attaches to his shoulder, just not quite as smooth and as level from the side. But again, a calf that's square built and finished really nice. You appreciate that about him. Young man steer that rounds the class out. Another one that's just really sound and complete. I think gives up some depth of flank relative to the calf right above him. And a steer I'd like to see just have more muscle shape right down his top when you get in behind him. But again, a sound, functional kind of a calf to round the class out. Young man's done a really nice job feeding that one. Let's give that group a round of applause.
Your results for Class 3: in 5th place, Levi Owens; in 4th place, Aiden Guy; 3rd place, Abigail Payne; 2nd place, Morgan Kleiber; and 1st place, Colt Lambert. Now entering the ring for Class 4, tag number 219, tag number 212, tag number 210, and tag number 216. Judge, this is your class. Randy Lambert and family, Wade's Work and Western Wear, Doug, Ruth, John, and Grace Cade, Lawrence County Junior Fair Board, Scotttown Farmer and Farmettes 4-H Club, and Starlight 4-H Club.
Well, I think a really nice trio of calves out here, and I think no doubt the young man steer we're going to start the class with surfaces to the top relatively easily in my mind. Calf, I think when you get in behind him, as impressive of one as we've seen all day. This one's just monster topped. He's really square right in behind his shoulder, spreads a ton of shape out over his hip and down through the base of his quarter. I think you get your hands on him, you're really impressed at how wide and square and deep that loin edge is, and again how good he is right in behind his shoulder. Really smooth and uniform in terms of his cover, yet still really good down through the base of his chest and really fresh and youthful in his look up front. A calf, when we talk about structure, though, again, another one we'd like to change a little bit. I think he gets pretty short and choppy off those back two. I think you could certainly free him up there to make him a little more ideal from that standpoint. But that one's got the market animal shape we're looking for. And I think that one's right at 12 o'clock in terms of market readiness. Young man's done a nice job feeding that one. Got him really nicely presented. Second and third, I think another really nice pair of cattle. The young man steering second, I like a great deal. He just runs into a really nice one in first out here. But a calf that's good structured, he's big-footed. You like how deep-flanked and big-bodied he is. He's really got a nice, easy-feeding look to him. A calf, when we get riding in behind him, just gives up quite a bit of shape and power and dimension when you get your hands on him. I think gets flatter and plainer down his top, not as big and square in his hip and as shapely down through the base of his quarter as that calf right above him, but that's a really nice pair. Young lady steering third, I think the longest-bodied, longest-fronted steer in the class. You admire his length and extension. Another big-bodied, high-performing kind of a steer. I think relative to his frame size, just needs a shot more width and muscle shape to compete with the two right ahead of him. But that young lady's done a nice job. Let's give those three a round of applause.
Your results for Class 4. In third place, Jaden Humphrey. Second place, Brendan Fout. And in first place, Alec Beckett. Now entering the ring for Class 5, tag number 209, tag number 200, tag number 192, tag number 208, and tag number 213. Judge, this is your class. Class 6 to the holding area, please. Class 6 to the holding area. Thank our judge again for tonight. His name is Kyle Nichols from Sycamore, Ohio. Kyle works for Comeback Feeds and Formula of Champion Show Feeds as a beef nutritionist. He graduated from Ohio State University in 2012 and was on the livestock judging team. Kyle, his wife Audrey, and daughter Claire operate Nichols Show Stock, where they raise club calves and club lambs. Let's give our judge a round of applause.
I'll tell you what, this is starting to get fun out here, and I think certainly the deepest set in terms of quality we've had all day. I think all these cattle from top to bottom are really impressive in terms of just the power and muscle shape and product they've got in them. I think in terms of finish and market readiness, they're all really acceptable. I think cattle that we're getting into that weight range that probably fits what we're looking for in the industry pretty good. I think a really nice pair of cattle up here at the top that combine that extra width and mass with some show ring look and eye appeal that we're looking for. And I think you got to be pretty quick to find the young man's cream-colored calf to the top of the class. I tell you, you study the cattle from the ground up, there's a lot of things you like about this one. He's a big-footed, free-moving rascal. I think got a ton of shape and product in him. Certainly got a lot of look and attractiveness when you get off to the side of him. Again, really fresh and youthful in his appearance up front, but spreads plenty of shape from there back. Calf, if you want to criticize him, I think the angle to his shoulder is really good. He gets out and travels with a lot of freedom up front. But I think a calf that gets coarser shouldered and gets more opened up when you study him on a three-quarter or get around in front of him, I think you can lay that shoulder into him a little smoother. But certainly really functional, just really practical in his build, and yet still has a ton of quality. Young man's done a really nice job getting that one ready for us this summer. Young lady's red steer coming in second. I think another really high-caliber individual. This is another one that's really, really impressive when you get him behind him. I think he's big and square down his back. He's really big in his upper hip. I like his rib shape. He's probably even a little bit bigger and fuller in his forerib and heart than the steer that wins the class. But I think when you study build and structure, this one gets a little bit straighter and more upright off of both ends, takes a little shorter, choppier stride off of both ends. Now when you get right in behind him and compare him to the calf that beats him, I think he's big-hipped and you like his shape up high, but he gets flatter down through the base of his quarter, he gets shallower down through his twist, just doesn't spread that shape down through his lower third quite as good as the calf that beats him. But a really nice pair of cattle at the top of that class. Those are two really stout steers. Young man's calf coming in third. This is a really good one to be this far down in class at a county fair. I think just a really complete kind of steer. He's got enough width. He's got enough muscle. Probably doesn't wow you in any one area. Just really pretty solid everywhere. But he gives up some look and extension up front. I think you'd like to drop him down his flank in relation to where his chest lays in him. And a calf that when you get him behind him gets just a notch plainer and less descript in terms of his muscle shape than the two that beat him. But I tell you what, you get your hands on that one. He's got a big square top in him. He's finished really nice. Just doesn't have some of the extras that the two steers right above him do. But I'd feed cattle like that all day long. The young man's done a really nice job getting that one ready. The young lady's calf that's gotten loose a couple times here. Again, I think really sound structured. A calf that's got some length and extension and eye appeal. Like to stouten that one up in terms of his foot and bone work, get him just a notch more muscle shape. But she's done a nice job with that one. Calf that rounds the class out, kind of the problem steer of the class for me. I like his width and power and dimension, but a calf I just got to make quite a bit sounder off of both ends. He's really getting bucked over on those front knees, gets really tight and restricted off those back two, but I think if we can change that about him, he's as stout, he's as heavy muscled as anything out here, just need to make him a little sounder, but that's an awfully deep set of steers. Give those young folks a round of applause.
Your results for Class 5. In 5th place, Ethan Cade. 4th place, Bailey Fuller. 3rd place, Uriah Cade. 2nd place, Kinsley Moore. And 1st place, Chad Morris. Now entering the ring from Class 6, tag number 199, tag number 221, tag number 201, tag number 214, tag number 211, and tag number 195.
Well, we get into our last class of the day here, and I think certainly the most interesting set to sort through that we've had. By far the most variation in terms of frame size, in terms of type and kind, structure, degree of finish. We've kind of got a wide array out here. But I think, again, it becomes a two-horse race pretty quick when you step back and analyze these cattle. And, again, try and find the ones that are functional in their build and have that extra width and muscle shape that we're looking for. And as you walk them out here a second time, I think it becomes pretty clear the young lady's chromed up steer needs to win the class. I think this one's really elite from a build and structure standpoint. He's extremely athletic and good on the move. A calf, when you get off to the side of him, that's just got a ton of quality. He's really tall. His neck comes really high to the top of his shoulders. He's really strong down his top. Probably is soft and deep through his center rib and back through his flank as anything we've had today. Really soft on his pasterns. A calf, again, that's got a ton of look and eye appeal. For me, this one needs just a shot more base width and a shot more muscle shape. I think if you want to pick on that one, we can make him just a notch stouter and shapelier when you get right in behind him. But again, finished really nice, handles really good. Young lady does a good job sticking that one. Calf that comes in second, young man's got a really nice one here, and I think from a product standpoint, he's probably got a slight edge over the steer that wins the class. He's big and square down his top. You get your hands on him, I think you're impressed just the amount of mass and power that he's got. Big hip, thick-ended. You like the rib shape and the body in him. I think a calf, again, as we study him in terms of structure, gets a little straighter and more upright off of both ends, takes a little shorter stride off of both ends. When you analyze him on the standstill, gets a little crestier up over his neck, just not quite as attractive and as fresh up through the front third of his body. But I think that's a lot closer pair than what maybe some of you in the stand slot, just because of the shape in the finish and the correctness from a market ready standpoint of the young man steering second, but a really nice pair up top in that class. Young lady's calf that comes in third, she's got one that's got a really nice hair coat on him. You can tell she spent a ton of time with this one at home. And here's another one that kind of follows suit with our second place steer. This one is just cracked wide open and square build and huge top. Got a ton of product and shape in him. Just gets shorter coupled, gets more jammed up off of both ends. I think we just need to make him more relaxed and comfortable in terms of his structure. Need to make him a little bit deeper and softer back through his rear rib and flank for me to bump him up and make him competitive with the two right above him. But again, that's a big stout rascal, and I think young lady's done a really, really nice job with that project. Young man steer coming in fourth. I think just a really good, solid meat and potatoes kind of steer, if you will. Another one that's just really good everywhere. Got enough muscle shape. He's sound. He's big-footed. He's big-bodied. Just doesn't have some of those extras. Again, gets just a little bit deeper down through the base of his chest, a little crestier up over his neck. When you get him behind the cattle, a little bit flatter and plainer in terms of his shape. Doesn't have quite that squareness and shape down his top that some of them right in front of him do, but again, finished really nice. I think that one's got a really good shot at grade and choice. Really functional and sound in his build. Young man's done a nice job. A pair of cattle coming next here at the bottom of this class that are both really, really good. I think both of them just need to spend more time on feed yet. The young lady steer coming next in the orange here. This guy is huge-footed, huge-legged. He's big-hipped. He's got a really cool look from the side. I think relative to his frame size, this one needs more depth of body. He needs to be bigger and fuller in his heart. And that one certainly needs to lay quite a bit of fat cover on yet to be right from that standpoint. That's a really, really neat steer that she's got. Young lady steer rounding the class out. Really attractive profiling kind of a steer. Certainly appreciates structural integrity of this calf. Again, just gives up too much shape and product to some cattle above him, but another really deep set of cattle. Let's give those young folks a hand.
Your results for Class 6. In 6th place, Gianna Pemberton. 5th place, Kylie Guy. 4th place, Devin Littoral. 3rd place, Carson Ball. 2nd place, Brandon Blair. And 1st place, Marley Ferguson. Now entering the ring, 1st place from Class 1, tag number 197, weighing in at 1,073 pounds. From Class 2, 1st place, tag number 220, weighing in at 1,112 pounds. 1st place from Class 3, tag number 198, weighing in 1,214 pounds. Entering from Class 4, 1st place, tag number 212, weighing in at 1,263 pounds. 1st place from Class 4, Class 5, tag number 213, 1,318 pounds. And entering from Class 6, 1st place, tag number 201, 1,332 pounds. Judge, this is your class. All 2nd place winners, please enter the holding area.
Let's give all these young folks out here a nice hand. Certainly a privilege to get to sort through these cattle tonight and work with these young folks. And again, my hat's off to all the exhibitors out here tonight. I grew up doing this and I'm still heavily involved, and I've got a great appreciation for what it takes to get one to this point. And it's a year-long project. It's a family commitment. And the lessons that it teaches you are invaluable. And you guys don't even know what this project is doing for you and what it will do for you down the road. But it's the reason that a big reason why I'm doing what I'm doing today, working as a cattle nutritionist. It's a big reason why I met my wife. It's a big reason why I met some of the best friends I'll ever have in my life. And it teaches you an unbelievable work ethic and sense of responsibility. And I think it teaches you how to be humble. You're not going to win every time out, or you can work your butt off for a year and come out here and get third in class. And again, it's just one guy's opinion on one night. And you got to learn how to battle. You got to learn how to keep your head up, and you got to learn how to be a good winner and a good loser. And I think those are all really important life lessons. So you guys only get to do this for a few years, and I want each of you guys to just take a moment and enjoy being out here in the final drive. There's a lot of kids back at the barn that work just as hard as you and had really nice cattle that don't have the privilege to be out here. So just take a moment and enjoy this. When you get home, thank Mom and Dad or Grandpa and Grandpa, your brothers and sisters, whoever's helped you get here. So again, you've all done a great job. You've been great to work with. I'm not going to talk every calf. These cattle are getting tired. It's really hot, obviously. These young folks have done a great job, but I'm really happy with this set of cattle when we get them back out here, and hopefully you guys can see a pattern. I think first and foremost, we're judging market cattle, so we got to have cattle that have enough width and muscle shape and product potential in them. We got to have cattle that have enough fat cover and finish on them to give them a good chance to grade choice, right? That's what we're after in this industry. And on top of that, the other really important thing for me is functionality. So these cattle got to have some structural integrity. They got to be able to get out and motor when we ask them to get around the ring. And they've got to have enough body and enough rib shape to convert feed to gain. And I think all these cattle check those boxes. Certainly a lot of variation in terms of how much muscle they have, what their structure's like. You get out here and there's not a perfect one in any class, so you kind of got to decide. There's always give and take. What can you live with, and sometimes you got to make some tough decisions. But I think this is just a really good, solid set of cattle. And then once we cover all those bases, I'm going to go find one that's a really good show steer that has that extra look and wow factor from the side. The one that hits the ring and grabs your attention and has some of those extra pieces that make them a really elite one in terms of build and profile and structure. So I think a great set of cattle tonight. There's two of these things tonight that hit me really hard when they came in the ring. And they're two cattle that are very good, but they're two cattle that are very different in terms of type and kind. I'm going to be really happy with my decision the longer I look at the cattle out here. I think, in my opinion, it definitely needs to go one way. But again, I'm just one guy. You guys we can agree to disagree. But I think you can cuss and discuss this pair all night long. And half the people are going to like one and half the people are going to like the other. And you'll never convince one group that they're wrong or right. But to me, there's one out here that works just a notch more base width, true muscle shape and power. And then there's one out here that's more elite in terms of build and structure and design, and probably handles just a little bit more correct in terms of degree of finish and how smooth they are out over those last couple ribs out over the 12th and 13th. So again, I think two really, really good ones in here. Certainly the whole group is competitive. I think it gets really tight in there for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. But again, there's a pair of them that are awfully close. There's one I like a little bit better. But it's been a privilege. Give these young folks a hand, and I'll pick our champions.
Now entering the ring from Class 6, second place winner, tag number 195, weighing in at 1,388 pounds. Your grand champion market steer is tag number 201, Marley Ferguson. Your Grand Reserve Steer Champion is Chad Morris. Class 5 second place winner, tag number 192, weighing at 1,297. Third place is tag number 192, Kinsley Moore. Tag number 208, weighing in at 1,307 pounds, now entering the ring. Now entering the ring, third place winner from Class 6, tag number 221, weighing in at 1,322 pounds. Your fourth place overall winner is tag number 195, Brandon Blair. Your fifth place overall winner is tag number 198, Colt Lambert. Now entering the ring from Class 3 is tag number 194, weighing in at 1,241 pounds. Your fifth place overall winner is tag number 221, Carson Ball. Now entering the ring is tag number 211, weighing in at 1,380 pounds. Your seventh place overall winner is tag number 212, Alec Beckett. Now entering your 8th place overall winner is Teddy Lincraft. Now entering the ring is tag 187, weighing in at 1,160 pounds. Your 9th place overall winner is Uriah Cade. Now entering the ring is tag number 200, weighing in at 1,296 pounds. Now entering the ring is tag number 209. Born, bred, and raised county champion. She will receive a $100 reward from Lawrence County Cattlemen's Association. Your 10th place overall winner is Morgan Kleiber. Again, we'd like to announce Kinsley Moore as the Lawrence County Born, Bred, and Raised County Champion. She will receive a $100 reward from the Lawrence County Cattlemen's Association. That there concludes the 2019 Steer Show. Now we will begin steer showmanship.
Now entering the ring, Class 1, Senior Showman, Brandon Blair, Bronson Barker, Chad Morris, Ethan Kay, John Fleeman, Montana Reynolds, and Uriah Kay.
tell you, just an awesome group of senior showmen, and certainly it's hard to ask them to come right back out here after these cattle been up all night and have already shown once. And you know, it's hot, and especially for the folks that have been in the final drive, there may be a little bit of a disadvantage, but this is a great group from top to bottom. I think this top three, to me, gets really close. I think there's some give and take. But if you look at the job they've done from start to finish, I think the young man does the most complete job all the time. This young man right in front of me we're going to start the class with. I think this calf really does a nice job walking him into position. He's always got him set where he needs to be. He does a great job getting his head up, getting back off of him and getting me a really good look at him. Walks him at a really nice pace. I think those two just get along really, really well. He's really got that one nicely presented. They make a really good pair. Congratulations, young man. Young lady that comes in second, I think, is an outstanding showman. Her show ring presence, her intensity, and the style that she shows with, I think certainly she excels the class in that regard. I think if you want to nitpick a little bit on where she goes second for me today, she struggles just a little bit with rear leg placement on this calf. I think at times we get him just a little bit too offset. Need to maybe square those back feet up just a touch at times. She's got him perfect right now there that I say that, but again, that's a really close pairing. I like how she gets off out in front of that calf's nose, gets me a really good look at his side. She does a nice job loining that one and getting his top down. She really gets the most out of that one. Outstanding showman. Young man coming in third had a reserve champion steer. This guy, you know, not really giving him his fair shake at it because this guy's tired and he's pretty lazy, easy going steer. At times I think we get this one just a touch stretched out. And he's maybe one that we don't need to loin quite as much with the show stick because he tends to be just a little easier topped to begin with. But again, does a really good job getting him stuck, getting his head up. And this one's really highly presented. You can tell how much time he spent on that one. He does a great job for me. Young man coming in fourth, I think, just runs into a really tough class. In terms of feet placement, in terms of keeping this calf in line and in position relative to where I'm at and where the rest of the cattle are at, he does a really good job. I think maybe not quite as aggressive as some of the showmen we've got out here. Maybe doesn't do quite as nice a job extending his left arm and getting back off that calf's front end once he has him set up. But again, he does a really solid job. He's got a really nice calf out here tonight. A super competitive showman. Young man that comes next, again, this is one I think we got to work a little harder to keep his head up. And this is one that, again, he's lazy, he's tired, doesn't want to go at as good a pace. But I think, you know, just didn't give him as good a chance out here tonight. The young man does a really nice job. The young man rounds the class out for me. I think we got to just work on feet placement on this calf. Work on getting that show side rear leg offset and getting him where he needs to be on the profile to make him look his best. But he does a really good job out here as well. So let's give those seniors a round of applause.
Results from Class 1. In 6th place, John Fleeman. In 5th place, Ethan Cade. In 4th place, Uriah Cade. In 3rd place, Chad Morris. In 2nd place, Montana Reynolds. And in 1st place, Brandon Blair. Now entering the ring is Senior Showman Class 2, Carson Ball, Maddie Calloway, Morgan Cliver, Bo Atkins, and Deanna Fleeman. Judge, this is your class.
Well, another great set of showmen out here, and I think, you know, the young lady in fourth, that calf, just giving her kind of a rough time tonight, not wanting to cooperate. So that's kind of out of her hands tonight. You're going to have nights like that out here in the show ring. We've all been there. but she's doing a great job staying calm and sticking with that one, and I certainly appreciate that. The other three young ladies we've got out here, first through third, I think on any given night, depending on who's judging and just how the cattle act, either of these three could win this class, but the longer we go out here, it becomes pretty apparent to me the young lady right in front of me needs to start the class. I think she shows every ounce out of this steer that she can. She does an awesome job, works super hard at keeping his head up. She does a great job getting his show side rear leg offset, getting him loined and getting his top down and really getting him stuck and showing the most out of him, and I certainly appreciate that. I think she's really intense and probably the quickest at getting those feet set, yet she's still really calm and relaxed about it. I think she just does a great job for me. Young lady coming in second, her and this steer make a really good pair. I think she walks him at a really nice pace. She did a nice job using the whole show ring out here for me tonight. Got this one really highly presented. I think on the side profile, especially that last time we set him up there, just struggled a little bit, getting those front feet squared up and where they needed to be. We changed that. I think she certainly can make a bid to win the class, but she does an excellent job out here. Congratulations tonight, young lady. The young lady coming in third, again, an excellent showman. She makes a great pair with this calf. But this calf's getting tired. He's wanting to get headstrong and sidestep a little bit. And I think, she's doing the best she can to stay with him out here. On a night where he acts a little better, I think she certainly has a shot to win the class. Just had a little tougher time keeping him head to tail, getting him where he needed to be out here. Same thing could be said for the young lady in fourth. But four really good showmen here. Let's give them a round of applause.
Results from Senior Showmanship Class 2. In fourth place, Deanna Fleeman. In third place, Morgan Kleiber. In second place, Carson Ball. And in first place, Maddie Calloway. Now entering the ring is Senior Showman Class 3. Kylie Guy, Teddy Lynn Craft, Alex Beckett, and Wyatt Owens. $125 will be rewarded to the junior and senior overall winners of showmanship from the Lawrence County Cattlemen's Association.
Another really nice group out here, and I think the young lady comes to the top of the class relatively easily in my mind. I think she does the best job keeping this calf in position. I think in terms of show ring presence and confidence out here, she excels the class. She does a great job getting that one stuck on the profile, getting that show side rear leg where it needs to be, getting his head up, and getting me a really good look at him. So I think she does an outstanding job. Young man coming in second, I think, gets this calf where he needs to be in terms of feet placement. Maybe not quite as aggressive at just keeping this calf's attention and keeping his head up and really showing the most out of him. And then I think when we get out here on the side profile, when the calf in front of you pulls ahead, you got to be pretty quick to fill that spot in front of you. So I think that's one thing he could have done for me out here. But again, he's done a great job with that project, has him really highly presented. Young lady in third, again, another calf you can tell she spent a lot of time on, has him looking really good out here, and they make a really good team. She walks him at a really nice pace and keeps his head up. Out here on the side profile, I think just got him too bunched up and too far up underneath of himself. Needed to kick that show side rear leg back to level him out and make him profile his best, but she does a good job for me out here. Young man with the Brockle face calf, I think maybe doesn't have quite as much experience or confidence as some of the other exhibitors out here. He gets along really well with this calf. They make a good team. I think just got to spend a little more time working on feet placement on that calf and show ring awareness and kind of knowing where to go out here and how to position yourself relative to where I'm at. But really good group of showmen. Let's give that class a round of applause.
Results from Senior Showman Class 3. In fourth place, Wyatt Owens. In third place, Kylie Guy. In second place, Alex Beckett. And in first place, Teddy Lynn Craft. Entering the ring from Senior Showman Class 1, first place, Brandon Blair. Senior Showman Class 2, Maddie Calloway, and Senior Showman Class 3, Teddy Lynn Kraft. Judge, this is your class. Junior Showman Class 4 need to report to the holding area. Junior Showman Class 4.
I think the senior showmen, a really impressive group in all three classes, and certainly all three of these had to work really hard to get out of their respective classes, and I think three really good showmen out here. I really like the style that they all show with. They're really quick to get these cattle in line and get them set, yet they're still really calm and collected with the cattle, and I certainly appreciate that. I think all three of them know where these cattle need to be set. They know how to get the most out of them, and I think they do a good job. Some differences in terms of maybe how quick they get them there, some differences in terms of how consistent they are at doing that. I think it gets really, really close out here and splitting hairs, but to me there's one individual that from start to finish has just done an excellent job getting that calf stuck, getting his head up right away, and getting me a really, really good look at him. So again, I think really close out here to me. I can only pick one tonight. That's going to be the young man right here at the front of the line.
Your senior showmanship champion is Brandon Blair. Brandon Blair will be winning $125 donated by the Lawrence County Cattlemen's Association. Now entering the ring, Junior Showman Class 4, Gianna Pemberton, Abby Prince, Abigail Payne, and Devin Literal. Judge, this is your class. Junior Showman Class 5 to the holding area.
We get into the first class of our juniors, and I think all four of these young folks do a really nice job, and certainly, there's things that they all do really well, and they've all got some small things they can work on, which I think that's good. Certainly in your junior classes, you're going to have that. And you guys got a lot of years to work at it yet, but I think you've all done a really nice job tonight. Again, you can tell the time you spent at home with these cattle, and it definitely shows. The young man I'm going to start the class with, I think in terms of getting this calf stuck on the profile, he does the best job of switching hands, taking those last couple steps backwards and really trying to walk that calf into position, which allows him to get that show side rear leg offset the quickest, get his head up. He does a really nice job at that. I think we could be just a little more aggressive at keeping this calf's head up and maybe get back off of his front end a little bit at times to get me a better look there. But he does an outstanding job. Those two make a really good pair. Young lady that comes in second, I think, did a good job leading the ring for us tonight. Was really confident where she was going, did a good job keeping the spacing and using the whole ring. I think at times the steer gives her a little tougher time than the calf right ahead, the young man's got right ahead of her. And I think that doesn't allow her to get off of his front end and really get me a good look at him at times. She's really trying to keep that chain short and keep him in check. But I think, if she gets a little more comfortable with some more experience, she's a very competitive showman. Young lady coming in third, got a calf that again, just wanting to sidestep and be a little more uncooperative tonight. She just has a little tougher time getting those rear legs set where they need to be on the profile. Just need to work on getting that show side rear leg where it needs to be, but she does a nice job. Young lady coming in fourth, walks his calf at a really nice pace and works hard to keep his head up. I think we just gotta be a little more confident about where you're going in the show ring, the kind of format we're showing in, to give you a little better chance out here. But that's a really good group of showmen. Let's give them all a round of applause.
Results from Junior Showman Class 4. In fourth place, Abby Pritt. Third place, Abigail Payne. In second place, Gianna Pemberton. And in first place, Devin Literal. Now entering the ring is Junior Showman Class 5, Brandon Fout, Jaden Humphrey, John Cooper Barker, and Kinsley Moore and Levi Owens.
I think a great group out here, and all four of these young folks are working really hard at this out here, and I can tell they're enjoying being out here. They've all spent a lot of time with their calves, you can tell, and I really appreciate that. I think it's fun to see these young folks out here working hard this late at night when these calves have been up like this all day. They've all done a superb job. Young lady with the red steer, I think, just the way that she gets his head up and gets off his front end and gets his feet set on the side profile is what sets her apart to me. She does a great job walking that one into position, really trying to get that show side rear leg offset and get that one profile on his best. She does a really nice job for me. Young man that comes in second, I think maybe the most confident showman we've got out here tonight. I think him and his calf make a really good pair. He knows where he's going out here. He knows what he wants to do. I think relative to the young lady ahead of him, we just got to watch where we got the rear legs on this calf. At times we let him get too bunched up and too far up under himself. Just need to get him stretched out a little further and get that rear leg offset to beat that young lady tonight. But he does an outstanding job. It's a really good showman in second as well. Young man coming in third, probably the hardest working young man we've got out here tonight. He come out here and got after it, really tried to get that calf set up as quick as he could. And I think if anything, I told him he needs to just take a deep breath, slow down a little bit, and that calf will stay a little calmer for him. Just relax a little bit, and it'll be easier to get that one set up. Young lady that's fourth, I think, with some more experience is going to be a really, really good showman. She gets along really well with this calf. She does a really nice job walking him with his head up. Just need to work a little bit more at home on getting those feet set where they need to be, but she does a really outstanding job as well. So let's give those four a round of applause.
Results from Junior Showman Class 5. In fourth place, Jaden Humphrey. In third place, Levi Owens. In second place, Brandon Fout. And in first place, Kinsley Moore. Now entering the ring is Junior Showman Class 6, Bailey Fuller, Marley Ferguson, Peyton Reynolds, Aiden Guy, and Colt Lambert. Judge, this is your class. All first place junior showman winners need to report to the holding area.
I think another super competitive group out here, and this is getting tough because these cattle are getting really tired. So then I'm trying not to take too long here, and I think this is a really close placing here in first and second. The young lady I'm going to go ahead and start with tonight, I think certainly excels the class in terms of keeping this calf's head up and walking him into position. I think she's the quickest and certainly does the most efficient job of getting him stuck and getting those rear legs where they need to be. If you're going to be critical of her tonight, I think certainly she got a little confused as to where we were going out here when she led off the side-by-side. So, I think being the first one in the ring, certainly need to watch the class ahead of you and be confident in what we're doing out here. But, nothing's changed since we showed in the market class. But she does a great job, again, like I said, getting this calf, getting set where it needs to be. She positions herself really good relative to where I'm at to get me the best look at that calf all the time. I think she just does a really solid job there. Young man coming in seconds worked his tail off out here tonight. He's sweating like crazy. I think... if anything, he and this calf get along a little bit too good. He's pretty small, calf's pretty big, and gets pretty lazy on him out here. And it's just been tough for him to drag him around out here in showmanship. He's just not wanting to cooperate quite as good. But that young man, he knows what he needs to do out here. He's confident. He stays really calm and collected with him. He's going to be an awfully good showman for a long time. He's got a lot to be proud of tonight. Young lady that comes in third, again, I think you can tell she's enjoying herself out here. She spent a lot of time with this calf. I think she does a great job walking him at a really nice pace and keeping his head up. I think once we get him stopped, we need to do just a little bit better job getting those rear feet set where they need to be and a little bit better job of keeping his head propped up. But she's done a really nice job for us tonight. Young man coming out in fourth. Here's another one that just makes a really good pair with his steer. These two get along extremely well together. This calf's really easy going. He does a nice job walking him and getting him shown to me on the move. I think when we get him set up, we get him a little bit too stretched out at times. So, I'd say when you're that small and your steer's that big, getting a little bit longer show stick that might help you reach those back 2 feet and make it easier for you to move those might help you a little bit. But he does a great job showing that one. Young lady rounding out the class, I want to congratulate her for sticking with it and coming back out here. And she did an excellent job getting this one shown out here. He's been a handful tonight, but I'm glad she came back out for showmanship. I think that takes a lot of guts, and she's done a really good job tonight. So let's congratulate all those exhibitors.
Results from Junior Class 6. In 5th place, Bailey Fuller. In 4th place, Aiden Guy. In 3rd place, Peyton Reynolds. In 2nd place, Colt Lambert. And in 1st place, Marley Ferguson. Now we're entering the ring from Junior Showman Class 4. 1st place, Kinsley Moore. 1st place from Class 4, Devin Literal. And 1st place from Class 6, Marley Ferguson.
Give all these juniors another hand, please. I think junior showmanship is probably my favorite thing to judge out of everything, and I just enjoy how hard these kids work at it, and I think they really enjoy being out here, and that's fun for me. I think all three of these said this is their 2nd year showing, so we're kind of on a level playing field there, and I think all three of them do a really good job in terms of getting these calves set up. They know where their feet need to be. They're really working hard to show the most out of them. Certainly some differences in terms of the style that they show with, and some differences in terms of how quick they get these cattle set up and the way that they do it. But I think all three of them do a really nice job in their own right. I think there's some small things maybe you could nitpick on each of them. They could do a little bit better. But to me, there's one individual out here tonight again, and I'm studying the job they've done from start to finish. To me, the one that's done the most consistent job and really got the most out of their steer tonight is going to be the young lady at the head of the line with Uno, the red steer up here. So let's give her a round of applause.
Your junior showman champion is Kinsley Moore. Kinsley will also receive $125 donated by the Lawrence County Cattlemen's Association.